Hey guys, coming at ya with another video. In this video, I am going to be talking about emotional intelligence. What is it? What is being intelligent when it comes to your emotions? What does that mean, emotional intelligence? How to bring more emotional intelligence into your life. I know you guys have heard me talk about self-awareness and as well as emotional triggers, but emotional intelligence really plays a big part in this like triangle of what you need to know, how you need to move through this world, and just be more self-aware. So guys, those of you who are just joining or have never seen my videos before and don't even know who I am, or shoot, maybe you saw a video and you're like, oh, that girl. My name is Arlessa-Wise. I am a soul and mindset coach and really geared towards helping people identify where they need to heal past traumas, how to shift their mindset in order to allow those changes to come in, as well as learning how to move that trauma and that energy out of the body so that you can just be done with it and then also have a mind, body, and soul balance. Okay, so with all that being said, let's get right into the video. So guys, what is emotional intelligence? It's kind of, maybe that's one of those things that just like self-awareness is kind of self-obvious. I think it's obvious, kind of in the name. It's emotional intelligence, and that means just being aware of your emotions and where they come from when you're operating from emotions. So we are emotional creatures. Humans, we are emotional, guys, and you always hear me talk about it. We have a huge, vast spectrum of emotions, and we are always teetering up and down and roller coastering through so many various different emotions throughout our entire day. And a lot of times, depending on how our mindset is, what's going on with our environment, what's around us in our environment, as well as things happening like on an inward level, as well as, you know, just mentally, everything, because we're like little computers. We're always processing and, you know, doing all these things, do all this stuff. So when we're bombarded with different emotions, sometimes filing through those and seeing where they come from, or even the ones that are present. Sometimes we can be operating through an emotion and not be self-aware that we are operating from that emotion because we're so focused on other things. And so self-awareness and emotional triggers play a big part with emotional intelligence, and I've done videos on those, so please go back and watch them and just kind of check it out so you can link all the three. But moving forward with just emotional intelligence, guys, it's so important to have emotional intelligence because not only are we, you know, people who work through and operate on an emotional basis, right? You can say, oh no, I avoid emotions at all costs, but avoiding an emotion is actually an emotion that you're having. It's an avoidant emotion. So we operate through emotions every single day. So it's very important to understand that when we are having an energetic exchange with another person, whether it be work, in our relationships, and our friendships, it's always really important to understand what we're going through, what our emotional bandwidth is. And I've done another video on that. I always have to put these little things. I've done another video on that too, so go watch it, guys. But really our emotional bandwidth, our energetic bandwidth, what we're capable of processing coming from other people, like we really have to be aware of that, right? So I myself, as an example, you know, I have ADHD, so I have emotional dysregulation, and I've had to manage my emotional regulation and have to identify when I'm starting to get overstimulated, when certain emotions are coming in, or just if I'm interacting with people in general. You know, different emotions come up as you have these interactions, and sometimes you take on other people's emotions. So it's just really good to understand where your emotions are coming from. Are they coming from another person that you've maybe sucked up that energy and you really have no reason to be acting that way, or operating from that emotion? Or is it an emotional trigger that's, you know, like a past trauma is, you know, triggered? Is it just your emotional and energetic bandwidth is low, and so irritation and frustration, and you know that maybe you need your space? It's just about identifying where these emotions are coming from and what your capability of operating from that emotion is. Self-awareness, being self-aware and emotionally intelligent go hand in hand, because you have to be self-aware of the emotions that come and go, right? But being intelligent behind those emotions is saying, hey, let me self-observe. Let me take a step back and let me observe this emotion. Let me observe the situation from maybe a third-party stance. Okay, so essentially what you do is you put yourself in the observer mode and you observe the emotions that are flowing through your body and what's going on in your mind together in that moment. And then once you're really observing the feeling behind the emotion you're feeling, the stimulations, like maybe the different types of memories it triggers, or maybe it, you know, all kinds of things, because we're always like, our brain's always going. So it's really kind of sitting and being intelligent about what you're observing, instead of allowing it to take over and just kind of rule the moment, okay? Because when we move from our emotions and don't bring in that logic or that self-observation, then we're unable to see the full picture, because we only have that filter of that emotion that's there. Okay, and so we're not able to see everything else. I know you see it. Look, it's a society debate, right? Filters, no filters. How big are the filters? It's just a big mess. You see, like, because I'm in the dating world, right? I see these dating sites that are like, you know, filters not welcome and stuff. Because what filters do is they keep the truth from being seen. Okay, they keep the truth from being seen, and when you hide that truth and you operate from a filter without allowing that transparency and that truthful and observation flow, right, of being logical and observing something, you're filtering it. So not only are you not being transparent with yourself, you're also not being transparent with other people. And so whenever we work through an emotional filter, then what we're doing is we're not able to see people as they are. We only see people as our perspective takes them to be through that emotion. And then we have to kind of sit back and ask ourselves, like, are you unfairly reacting from your emotions based on something that has to do with you instead of the other person? So whenever this happens, it's really important, like I said, to move from that self-observation. Because if we're not able to sit and observe ourselves, then we have to look at why, right? Because a lot of people are unable to sit and observe themselves. And I'm not saying anything wrong. I was that way for a really, really, really long time. And I just now, guys, and I mean, I sit here and I say a lot about things, but I talk about things that I am actively moving through. So it's been about maybe the past 2 years have been a really big focus, not only on my self-worth, but also my emotional intelligence behind how I operate. Not only on a daily basis, just with myself or my daughter, or my animals and my pets, or the people that I usually see on a daily basis or not. It's about just in general, everyone that I come into contact with. And not only that, just how I carry myself, being obvious of that. For example, like when somebody's in extreme pain and they're just so used to that pain, they don't realize how much pain they are, but their body feels it every day. And then they start to be like, ew, get off my lawn, and really grumpy because they're constantly in pain. But they're not able to see the way that they're reflecting themselves through that emotion and through that feeling that's going on, right? And so that's what I'm saying, is that being emotionally intelligent about the way that you operate and the emotions that you operate from are so imperative, because I'm trying to find the best way to explain it, because a lot of it's going on in my head and I just don't want to repeat myself. But I think it's just about being able to observe the situation, not only us, but the other people that are involved, and seeing things for what they are and not through the filter of our emotions. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to harp on that too much. So I think that's pretty much all I'm going to say in this video, guys, because I don't think I really need to go deep into it, because I've talked about the self-awareness and emotional triggers, guys. These really do go hand in hand, because you have to bring in self-awareness so that you can be self-aware of your emotions, and then you can start to react and move and operate through a more intelligent perspective when it comes to your own emotions, a better understanding about how to operate through certain emotions whenever you're able to identify where they're coming from, why you're feeling them, and why you're reflecting those out maybe in your conversations or your situations in everyday life, which is different people that maybe have nothing to do with you moving from that emotion. But because you're not self-aware of that emotion, or you're choosing to just stay in it and operate from it instead of observe it, then we're not really going to see the way that we're treating other people when we are operating from those emotional places. So guys, I hope this video helped a little bit. I'd love to get a discussion going in the comments. I just want to let you know that if you like my video, then hey, please subscribe to my channel. and YouTube channel. And then guys, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. The handles, of course, I post this on my platform. So look for me, join me. I'll put put everything in the description. So I would love to see you over there, guys. And if there's any topics that you want to hear me just blab on about again, let me know. Let me know. Let's get a discussion going, and just love to hear from you. All right, guys, y'all have a good week.